The shot that ended Charlie Kirk's life on September 10, 2025, at Utah Valley University was supposed to have been followed by swift justice. Federal authorities pointed to a single man, Tyler Robinson, and assured the public that the case was airtight. But now, as cracks form in the official narrative, the story once presented as simple and straightforward is being torn apart by contradictions, unanswered questions, and suspicions of a deeper cover-up. Millions who once accepted the headlines at face value are asking whether the truth has been buried. And as the revelations mount, the case is no longer just about one tragic assassination. It has become a referendum on trust, transparency, and the integrity of America's justice system. For continuing updates on this unfolding story, make sure you subscribe after hearing this report. From the beginning, the media leaned heavily on a supposed confession, repeating the claim that Robinson admitted his guilt while in FBI custody. That detail shaped the narrative, painting him as someone who not only committed the act but also acknowledged it. Yet Robinson's family has firmly denied this version of events, insisting he never confessed to anything. They argue that federal authorities inflated or outright fabricated his statements to create the impression of certainty. This denial was echoed by prominent voices, including commentator Candace Owens, who stated flatly that Robinson never confessed and accused prosecutors of building a false storyline to bolster their case. For families watching this trial unfold, the difference between a real confession and an invented one is not just semantic, it is the line between truth and manipulation. If Robinson never admitted guilt, then a critical pillar of the prosecution's case begins to crumble. The evidence against Robinson, as presented by prosecutors, was designed to look overwhelming. They cited text messages, DNA traces, and a rooftop vantage point as proof of his involvement. According to their version of events, Robinson scouted Utah Valley University, climbed to a rooftop, and positioned himself to take the fatal shot. But when examined closely, each piece of this narrative starts to raise doubts. The text messages prosecutors displayed as evidence of motive and planning have come under particular scrutiny. Owens and others argue that Robinson never wrote them, calling into question whether they were fabricated, altered, or even sent from his phone. Then there is the rooftop claim. While prosecutors assert that he climbed into position before the shooting, no credible witness has ever placed him there, no time-stamped photo shows him at the scene, and no video captures his ascent. Instead, the case relies heavily on assumption rather than clear verification, raising the possibility that an entire timeline has been constructed without the foundation of fact. Perhaps the most glaring issue is the absence of direct video evidence. Despite the presence of countless cameras at the event, no footage has ever surfaced showing Robinson aiming, firing, or even holding a weapon. Federal authorities continue to insist that he was the shooter, but in the absence of clear proof, many see the accusation as speculation dressed up as certainty. The available surveillance footage has only deepened doubts. While officials released a blurred clip of a figure climbing down from the rooftop after the fatal shot, the image is too unclear to identify. Crucially, no video shows anyone climbing up before the shooting, leaving an unexplained gap in the timeline. This missing piece not only weakens the prosecution's claims, but also suggests the possibility that the actual shooter's movements were never captured, or perhaps never released. Then came the viral video that threw gasoline on an already smoldering fire of doubt. In the moments before Kirk was shot, footage captured his bodyguards making subtle hand gestures, one adjusting a cap, another gripping a rail. To some, these movements looked like nothing more than routine security behavior. But to others, the timing was impossible to ignore. The gestures happened just seconds before the fatal shot, leading some to speculate they may have been signals, either coordinated between guards or directed to someone outside the crowd. Online sleuths pored over the footage frame by frame, arguing passionately that what appeared to be innocuous movements might actually reveal coordination in the attack. The FBI acknowledged it was reviewing the video but has yet to release an official statement. With silence from authorities, speculation only grows louder. Even the forensic evidence that prosecutors leaned on is now under suspicion. Investigators claimed Robinson's DNA was found on a towel wrapped around the rifle and on a screwdriver left on the rooftop. At first glance, this seemed like irrefutable proof. Yet experts have raised serious questions about the chain of custody and the possibility of contamination. If evidence was mishandled at any stage, the results could be compromised, intentionally or otherwise. Defense supporters argue that without transparency in how these materials were stored and tested, the DNA evidence cannot be trusted. The same cloud of uncertainty hangs over Robinson's alleged search history. Authorities say his devices showed queries about Kirk's schedule and firearms, but critics counter that digital evidence can be planted, misattributed, or selectively interpreted. Until every timestamp and every log is scrutinized in open court, the reliability of this digital trail remains in doubt. Candace Owens' role in challenging the government's claims has further energized skepticism. By declaring that Robinson never confessed and had no knowledge of the texts prosecutors highlighted, she has placed herself at the center of a growing movement demanding accountability. Her statements have amplified public pressure on authorities to release more evidence and clarify inconsistencies. Whether one agrees with her or not, Owens has forced the conversation away from passive acceptance and toward critical scrutiny of official narratives. The FBI's silence on key evidence is perhaps the most damaging factor of all. Advanced surveillance, acoustic analysis of gunshots, and ballistic data, all of which could decisively confirm or disprove parts of the official story, remain sealed. The refusal to release these findings has created a vacuum filled with doubt and conspiracy theories. Some see it as a necessary measure to protect the investigation, while others interpret it as proof of a cover-up. Either way, the lack of transparency is fueling public mistrust at a time when institutions can least afford it. As the case drags on, the broader impact is becoming clearer. Public confidence in the justice system is eroding. People are not just questioning whether Robinson is guilty, they're questioning whether the FBI, prosecutors, and the courts are committed to uncovering the full truth. Each inconsistency, each unanswered question, each missing piece of evidence reinforces the perception that the system may be serving expedience rather than justice. For Robinson's family, the uncertainty is unbearable. For Kirk's family, the fear that justice may never truly be served is equally devastating. And for the nation, this case is quickly becoming more than a trial. It is a test of faith in the very institutions meant to uphold truth and accountability. In the end, this is not only about Robinson or even about Kirk. It is about whether justice in America can withstand the pressure of politics, public outrage, and institutional preservation. It is about whether evidence will be weighed on its merits or manipulated to fit a narrative. And it is about whether the public will ever be given the truth in full. Until those questions are answered, doubt will continue to grow, and the wound left by Kirk's assassination will remain unhealed. For now, the story is still unfolding, and the truth is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. Stay connected as we continue to follow each revelation, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on this critical case.